When I was young, I was full of life and sparkle. I had a really big, bold personality, and I was the life and soul of the party. When I was 13, I lost somebody close to me through suicide. And instead of dealing with those emotions in a healthy way, I told myself that it was my fault, that if I had been good enough, she wouldn't have left. Now, over the years, after quite a bit of therapy and with age, I now know that that is obviously not the case and that she was unwell. But that didn't stop me as a 13-year-old pushing myself to be as perfect as I could be. And this is a story that's followed me throughout my entire life. I did really well at school, I did really well at work, always taking on more work. Yeah, give me more, I can do it, I'll be busy. And it's only in the last few years that I've realised the reason I was doing that was because I didn't want to have to deal with those feelings and the sadness. And if I could keep busy, I didn't have to face up to them. So I took on extra jobs outside of work. I've always organised all my friends, all my family, you know, just so I didn't have to stop and think about it, which served me really well for a while. But then eventually, as life likes to, it throws things in your path. And one of my best friends got diagnosed with terminal cancer. Not only did that pull up a lot of emotions from when I was young, but it also caused me to start having panic attacks. I think probably down to the fact that I couldn't really control the situation. So I went and spoke to a counsellor through talking therapies, and that really helped me. But instead of learning my lesson, once the panic attack stopped, I just carried on in the vein that I had been doing for the previous 20 years. So carried on being busy, doing all the things all the time. And then a few years after that, I found myself being really badly bullied at work by a colleague. Don't know why, don't understand the whole situation still to this day, but it was a horrendous situation. I would come home in tears every night, not really able to explain to my husband what was going on and why I was so upset, because I just didn't want to have to deal with those feelings. I was doing basically 3 people's jobs in one job, so I was already so busy and I just didn't have the headspace for it. But around that time, I actually started to grow my own fruit and veg. I had tried to access counselling again through talking therapies, but I'd been told that unfortunately due to budget cuts, they weren't able to offer me that. But what I found was that through growing my garden, I actually found some time and some headspace to be able to process some of the emotions around the bullying and how it was making me feel. And this was absolutely game-changing for me. It was just a case of, you know, just while you're there sowing some seeds, you know, just switching off, being present in the moment, just allowing yourself to have that headspace. At that time, my self-confidence was absolutely at rock bottom. I felt like an utter failure. I didn't really like myself very much, and gardening really helped me to reconnect with myself and rediscover what is so wonderful about me. Just the simple act of harvesting a tomato that you have grown yourself and eating it, or growing a bed of brightly coloured dahlias from a patch of ground that was completely bare before, is just the most life-affirming, wonderful feeling. And it really helped me to feel proud of myself again, and also to grow my self-confidence. So fast forward again to when I had my little girl, and I decided that I needed to bring this wondrous pastime to many more women. So I started Adventures with Flowers, and now I help women to learn to garden for their minds, to help them through whatever life throws at them, so they've always got that constant, that thing that's theirs to be proud of, to create and to really have that safe space for themselves to just go and reconnect with themselves, reconnect with nature, and just ride the storm. So if some of the things I've spoken about today has resonated with you, then I would love to help you learn to garden for your mind. Please send me a DM and we can have a chat about the best way for us to work together.